Hey guys, it's Callie here with Bookshelf Banter, and I am so excited to bring you a review of Body and Blood by Amanda Havard. Now, this is the third book in the Survivor series. For those of you that are just now joining me on this adventure and have not even read book one, I'm going to encourage you to do that. Read book one, read book two, and then come back because I don't want you to be spoiled because this series completely rocks. And you don't, as much as you want to know, you really don't want to know because you want to read it and experience all of this tangled, just complicated puzzle for yourself. Now, you want to work it out, I promise. I just finished the book and I actually read the series as each book came out. So when I got a copy of Body and Blood, I was super excited to read it and just didn't know when I'd get to. And luckily, I had a car trip and my husband decided to drive the whole time and I decided to read the whole time. So I have to admit, and Amanda knows this, that I really, really, really wanted to throw this book when I finished it. That's a good thing. I couldn't because we were in the car, and my husband would have been really mad if it had, rebounded off of the windshield into his face. So I am going to save it for later, the throw that is. I also hate to ruin a really good book, but yeah, I've warned Amanda next time I see her, she might want to duck. This book completely messed up everything that I thought was going on, and I am not upset about it. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm gonna start with the fact that this book has three different points of view. The first being Sadie's, who's the main character, and then we're going to hear from Everett, and then we're going to hear from Mark. That is Winters, Everett and Mark Winters. You know who Everett and Mark Winters are, and if you don't, I'm so sad for you. But then we hear from Sadie again at the end of the story. Now, where we were left off, there was a lot that had happened, and gosh, you were kind of getting frustrated with Sadie, let's be honest. And you were kind of feeling sorry for Everett and all of the Winters. And you kind of were not sure how to feel about Cole, probably. Some of you are hating him, some of you are loving him. Some of us, like myself, are still like, I don't know. But the thing is that Sadie kind of pulls herself out of a state of depression. I don't know if that's kind of a strong word, but it's probably fitting. And she does get help from Cole, so you kind of like him and you kind of love him. And but the thing is then you have these amazing POVs with Everett and Mark, and it totally just rocks your world. So I. I have to tell you that first of all, as the story progresses, we learn more about Raven, and I don't want to know any more about him. So, Amanda, you can stop writing about him altogether if you want to. But he is probably the worst of the worst, the ultimate bad guy. And he is so just vile to me when I'm reading it that yeah, bleh, in my mouth a little bit every time Raven comes up. And so we have to deal with, of course, learning more about him. But the cool part is that through learning more about him, because he's sneaky and wants to reveal stuff to Sadie because he wants Sadie to like him, which is just twisted, we learn a lot about the survivors. And we learn a lot about what the elders of the survivors have been up to for all of these hundreds of years that they've been alive since the Salem witch trials. Now, the crazy thing is we're going to get introduced to some new characters, and through learning who they are, which you're going to love them, hopefully, you also learn more about the Winters. Yay! Because I love knowing more about Everett. I love knowing more about Mark, even though I'll admit I wasn't a huge Mark fan, and y'all are going to hate me because all of the girls that like bad boys love Mark, but I was kind of thinking, and I'm still kind of thinking, but I'm leaning more towards, yeah. But anyway, I know I'm not giving away a lot, and it's really because I want you to enjoy it when you're reading it. And if I tell you everything that happens, it's just gonna make you mad, but in a good way. Anyway, so after you get through Everett's point of view and love him, and Mark's point of view, and you'll probably fall in love with him more, but I'm kind of like I like him, and then you're gonna hear from Sadie again. Of course, you learn more about new characters. When you learn more about new characters, they always have something to reveal to Sadie. I think that's the case in most of this series. And then Sadie does something dumb. And so I think that we're going to all feel the same way that I felt after reading this series. And Amanda's going to have to duck a lot. Or we're going to have to repair a lot of walls. So all of that to say, the cliffhanger at the end of this book is completely going to knock your socks off. And you are probably going to want to stalk Amanda and find out what's going to happen in book 4, because that's what I want to do. I want to know what's going to happen, people. And if Amanda Havard can twist and turn this story as much as she already has in 3 books, can you imagine what she's going to do in the next one? Yeah. I don't know if I want to imagine, because I kind of have this idea of what I want to happen, and I really hope that it happens. Everett. Everett's my favorite. Just putting it out there for you. Okay. I'm giving this book, Body and Blood, 4.5 books on the bookshelf. Almost 5. And can I tell you, the only reason it's not 5 is probably a personal reason. And it's because of something that Amanda Havard did with one of her characters that completely messed up my whole idea of how Sadie's happily ever after is going to happen. And everyone else is going to know what I'm talking about later, because, yeah. So essentially, writing style, story construction, plot, twists, it's a 5 book on the bookshelf. But because I'm kind of mad about this one thing, I'm giving it 4.5. Is that cruel? Maybe I'll give it both and let you decide. I think I should do that. So go check it out. I know this has been a long review, but it's a really amazing series, and I hope that you guys will go out there and grab it. I know that she's doing some amazing deals on her first 2 books, the ebooks, so that you guys can get them and read them, and then read Body and Blood. Oh, you're going to love it.